And you're listening to My Generation on IPL Radio, coming to you from Rockingham in Western Australia. My Generation is proudly sponsored by Little Hanoi Vietnamese Restaurant, and you'll find them on Rockingham Beach Road in Rockingham. So get down there, check it out for yourself, and you'll find that I am correct. We have today a guest in the studio, and just a bit of a background. Australia's Mother of the Year Awards aim to recognise mothers and the important role they play in our society. Highlighting key themes such as nurturing and caring, Barnardo's Australia developed the Mother of the Year Awards in 1994 as an opportunity to showcase women, the women responsible for the excellent parenting within the community. And Kay, you are one such winner of the Australia Mother of the Year Award.
Yeah. Excuse me, yes, I was. Seemed a long time ago now.
2010, I believe.
Yes.
Excellent. And what was the basis for that award?
Well, Barnardo's, who was a fostering organisation in the eastern states, they decided to award a mother in Australia somewhere,
yep,
on near Mother's Day,
yep,
to recognise the type of mothering they've done. Sometimes it's fostering, as in our case. Sometimes it might be something else in the way of mothering that somebody has done. And
yep.
So my granddaughter Amy and her friend Louise, unbeknown to me,
submitted your name.
Put my name forward. And didn't tell me for quite some time. And then I got a phone call from Barnardo's to say that I'd been one of the nominees, and they did an interview over the phone, and then it wasn't long later that I was rung and told that I was one of the 3 finalists. So, it went from there. And so the big day came, and the 3 of us were there and had a lovely morning, and to my utmost surprise, I was chosen as the WA Mother of the Year for Barnardo's.
Excellent.
It meant that I then went on to go over to the east to Sydney,
yep,
with all the other finalists, and just to the main meeting, get together over there.
Yep.
And lo and behold,
you won.
I'm getting the Australian Mother of the Year, which I'm still in shock of.
But it must have been something pretty special about the fostering side of things.
Oh yeah, I mean, I probably didn't look on it myself like that, because it was just something that I loved doing. And it was mainly just babies that we had.
Yeah.
Older children and teenagers terrify me, especially when they've got problems. It was all to do with the fostering, which I had been doing then for, 10 years or something, I suppose, at that stage.
Now, the volume of fostering was one of the big things. How many children did you foster?
Oh, I think we worked it out. It was about 80-something babies.
That is amazing, isn't it?
I mean, sometimes you'd only have them, some of them perhaps for a day or two, but some of them we had for several months or up to a year,
yeah,
a bit over a year. But, it was a very special time in our lives, and loved every minute of it. And
yeah. So what motivated you to start fostering?
I think when I think back, I think it was a couple from our church at the time. They were doing fostering of babies mostly babies awaiting for adoption and I remember seeing them coming into church with this baby, and I've always been a bit of a baby myself, so I thought, that's something I'd love to do one day, but our kids were still relatively young and I was busy. But then sometime later, I remember I was working at our local hospital, and all of a sudden it was almost like something hit me in the stomach, and I thought, now's the time to ring up and find out about it. So I did. I got on the phone to the government department, and things went from there. It took a year or so because they had some other things going on that it took a while for everything to fall into place. But then when it did, it just took off.
Right.
Yeah.
And you specifically requested babies?
Oh yes, only newborns or young babies. Yes. No, the older children. I was too old to be running around after older children.
Yeah. So when you say newborns, sort of how old would they have been when they came to you?
Oh, sometimes you just get them a day old. You get a phone call, say a baby just been born. Could we come in and pick the baby up? I mean, my own children I didn't even bring home until they were, getting on for 2 weeks old. And these we did that be just a few hours or a week, sometimes longer, of course. It depends if they had to stay in hospital a bit longer, but just a matter of days.
So you had to get yourself organised pretty smartly.
Yes, we did. Yes, it's amazing how quickly you can do things when it's something that you're really looking forward to doing.
Was there ever an occasion when you had more than one child?
Yes. A few times we had two for perhaps one of the other carers had something on, and I'd have a second one for a few days or a weekend. And then one time I had a newborn and she was 3 months old. We got a 5-month-old, and his carer had to go up north. So we had the two of them for something like about 9 months, I think, 9 or 10 months. They were 12 months and older when they actually left.
So what was the oldest child you had?
I think on one particular occasion I did take an older child. He was a little boy. He was about 4 or 5. Just took him for a few days. He had a broken leg, plaster right up to his thigh, and that was interesting. And his mum was unwell, so we just had him for a few days, I think. But normally I didn't take them at that age. It was mainly just the babies from birth to 12 months old.
Okay.
13 months old or something, yeah.
Was there ever any interaction between the birth mother and yourselves?
Oh, yes, quite often.
Right.
Not always, but yes, quite often we'd meet the birth parent or birth mother at the hospital. Not, as I say, not on every occasion, but in a lot of cases. And then occasionally the birth mother would come out to our home and visit the child, especially when that was during a few weeks where they were given that time to really decide whether that's really what they wanted to do, to relinquish their child for adoption. Yeah. And so they were given the opportunity to come out and visit and interact with their child if they so desired. A lot didn't. It was too hard. But some did, and so we did get to know the birth mothers at times, yeah. Yes.
So is there any time period of grace that they had to change their mind?
Yes, usually they couldn't sign anything final for a minimum, I think, just thinking back, I think around about 3 months. Right. Sometimes they could take longer because there were lots of things going on, regarding birth father and families that had to be sorted out before, they could make a final decision. So, sometimes it would take, could take 3, 4, 5 months. And the baby would be in care during that time until such times as an adoptive family was chosen or they took the baby back home.
Right. And so the adoptive parents sometimes might have had a weight on their hands, waiting to see whether.
Oh yes, and they wouldn't be notified until everything else had been sorted out. That wouldn't have been fair to them because if it changed their mind or something. Yeah. So they would only be given a notification as soon as the birth mother or family had made that final decision, yeah.
And who gets to name the child? When the child comes to you, does it have a name?
Oh, yes, the birth
So the birth mother...
Yeah, she names the baby. When we first started, for about 3 or 4 months, I suppose, there was a time where they were able to, the new parents could change the name of the baby to suit them. But then a law came in that the name that the birth mother had given them was the name that they had to keep. A lot of them, well, there were a couple, I think they made the birth name a second name.
Right.
And chose a
different person.
First name, but mostly they kept the name. Yeah.
Now, caring for a newborn child is a full-time job. Did you get a lot of help from your husband?
I did, yes. When I first told him what I wanted to do, I think he looked at me in horror and as if I'd gone off my head somewhere or other. But once we started, he was as besotted as I was. And, I got a lot of help from him, which I was very grateful for.
Yep.
Except getting up at night.
Oh, is that right? He wasn't good at getting up at night?
Not such one for getting up at night, but that was okay because I didn't find too much trouble.
Now, one of the important things for a newborn child, is to bond with another human being.
Yeah.
Did the birth mothers have opportunity to bond sometimes with the child?
Yes, they did. Because in a lot of cases, the birth parent or birth mother could have ongoing visitation or contact with the child. So they had the opportunity to bond with the child. Mostly if they were only seeing the baby for a day or two, well, of course, naturally that didn't happen.
No.
And the bonding happened with ourselves.
I was going to ask about that.
Yes. Oh, no, that's a very important part of their development. Was the bonding was very, very... And it happened very quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then it becomes fairly traumatic for the child then to be taken by the adoptive parents, and then have to sort of...
Fortunately, the age that they usually went for adoption, they were still very young, and when the adoptive parents were chosen, they would take at least up to 2 weeks coming and visiting each day, getting to know the child, bathing them, taking them for walks, and really sort of getting to know them and form a real relationship with them. So when the time came for them to leave us, they had that attachment already to the new parents. So it wasn't a case of them coming in and taking the child straight away. It would have been too hard. But the way it was done, I think, was done.
So you got to meet the adoptive parents as well as the birth parents?
Oh, yes, yeah.
And is this a relationship which has sort of continued through the years?
In some cases it has. We have been to a couple of weddings of the babies that we had, a couple of 21st.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But sometimes, and in some cases, you sort of, they've got to get on with their lives, and you can't end up keeping up with all of them as much as you'd love to. You have to sort of let go a little bit. But as I say, yes, there have been a couple of weddings and a couple of 21st and
fantastic,
birthdays, which has been pretty special.
Yeah. And have you kept a photographic record of?
Yes, when we start, we usually have 2 albums, one for ourselves and one for the new family,
right?
And which gets passed on with the baby. So we've got this bookshelf, full of baby albums, and then it became to the stage where Trevor just took photos of them. They went on the computer, so they're still on record.
Right.
Yeah.
And can you remember the names? You can look at the photos and remember the names?
Most of them I'd probably, now I think I might be, with some of them I'd be a little bit hazy, I think, but generally speaking I used to be able to remember them all, remember their names and what happened to them, where they went, and it was good. Great time.
Yes. So over what, the 80 children that you fostered, over what period of time would that have been?
From 1995 up until, the last one that we had was only about 2 years ago, 18 months ago. I did relief for 2 or 3 weeks for one of the other carers.
Right.
By then we hadn't been doing very much over the previous 3 or 4 years, just an occasional one if I needed. But this little one, we had 6-week-old one for 2 or 3 weeks, and that was about 18 months ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah. Because most people, when they sort of get to the age of not your age, senior level, would find it difficult to sort of be getting up in the night and feeding and changing nappies and all those sort of things that go.
Yeah, I never found it difficult.
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess it's something that I just love doing. And that was one thing I never found it to be a burden.
Right.
And you find it, there's a lot of carers, who are, we will say elderly,
Yes.
and are still taking in children, and not only just babies, they're taking in other children, toddlers and up to teenagers, which that terrifies me. The thought of having to look after teenagers and that sort of thing. But it's amazing that they do just such a wonderful job, and they've just got that gift of being able to handle the things that go on, because it's not easy with older children. There's so many negatives that come to play with their backgrounds and all those sorts of things, and behavioural things. It's not an easy thing for them to do. But,
and of course, there's things, expenses like nappies and creams and all of those sort of things. Your expense, or did they assist you?
Each child gets it. There's a certain amount each fortnight or whatever it is that you're allowed. I don't know that it particularly really covers everything, but that's okay. It's something that we choose to do as volunteers. And you do get a bit of help with clothing and things like that.
Yep.
But you learn to op shop very well. Pick out the best. Yeah.
Very good.
That's very good.
And you miss it, obviously.
I do, in a lot of ways. Yeah. I don't know that I've got the energy now to try and take one on now, but I did miss it, and I guess in some ways the fact that when we sort of went from doing it full time to just on an emergency basis, it gradually weaned me off a little bit to a certain extent. Yeah. But you do miss it, because it was a great time in our lives. I thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. Yeah.
So out there's 80 odd people who are going around who started life thanks to you.
Yes, and some of them we would have had done just respite, perhaps for another carer or something like that. But I think in all, it was somewhere around about there. And they weren't all babies that were going for adoption. Some of them were in long-term foster care while families were being sorted out. But yes, I think we made a note of it one stage, and it was somewhere around the 80 mark. But mind you, there's been a lot of carers out there that have had many, many more than
Is that
I've
right?
had. Oh, goodness me, yes. I'll take my hat off to them, and that's not just babies. I mean, they take families in. There'd be 3 or 4 kids at a time, and they'd have some that have even more. So they're the ones they're the true heroes in my book, and I take my hat off to them.
So there's a big need for
yes, and I think
foster.
there still is. Yeah, sadly.
Very sad.
It is.
Well, thank you very much for sharing with us, because it's a thing that most of us don't think about. We sort of get on with our lives and we don't get to see this side of life.
Well, you don't, and that's quite true. And that's sort of one of the things that people often say. They almost are not even aware. They sort of know, I think, in the background somewhere that fostering happens, for a reason, but they're not really fully aware of the need and just how much, of it goes on and how much is needed. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Kay. Very worthy winner of the Mother of the Year Australia Award.
I was just very fortunate that that I had a beautiful granddaughter that thought enough of me to do it, because I'll tell you, there's some wonderful foster carers out there who don't get recognised, and as fortunate as I was, they do an amazing job. I take my hat off to them. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming in and sharing.
Okay, that's all right, Alan. Thank
Excellent.
you very much.
Okay.
Coming to you from Rockingham, IPL Radio.